Hello, everyone. Welcome back to In My Own Thoughts. It has been since last summer that I have done these YouTube vlogs. However, I have more flexibility now than what I did this past year, and so I've decided to come back to doing these vlogs again. And I have decided to also continue the series of a foreigner's perspective. And I think I got a lot of good feedback from that last year. So I have decided to continue that trend and just pick up right where I left off. And so that's what I have decided on. Look out for an upcoming YouTube vlog that I recorded a couple of months ago at the school that I was working at. And basically, I was asked to come into a sixth grade classroom and talk about my experience as someone who's an Arab, who's from the Middle East. And I was there with the students, and in the vlog, you will hear students asking different questions and me answering it. So it was a pretty cool setting, and the questions were so great. These children were so intelligent, and they asked questions that a lot of people want to know the answer to. A lot of adults want to know the answer to, and a lot of these adults don't really have the courage to ask them, but these students did. And so look out for that. I still have to edit it and upload it. But that was a really cool opportunity that I wanted to share with you. And I think for those of you who are interested in Middle Eastern culture, you will learn a lot from that vlog. But today's vlog, because I'm just getting back into it, I have decided to do a quick question that people ask me. A lot of people ask me this question whenever they find out that I speak a second language. And the question is always this: what do you think in Arabic or in English? What language do you think in? And I am always perplexed by that question. I'm always like, why are you asking me this? But I guess people just want to know. And maybe people are just not used to someone else being able to think in a different language. But to answer that question, so I'm just going to answer it right now and say, I don't think in Arabic. Let me expand on that a little bit. I do think in English most of the time, but there are times when I use expressions in Arabic because I can't express them in English, if that makes sense. So certain words I commonly think in my head because I just can't think of another expression in English that would compensate for it. So a very, very common word is yalla, which means let's go or hurry up. But whenever I'm telling myself to let's go or hurry up, I end up saying it in Arabic. Or even just like get up in the morning. And that word is qumi, which just means get up. For some reason, I always think that in Arabic. There are some times when, of course, there's an exception to every rule, but most of the time I end up like encouraging myself to get up in Arabic. So there are exceptions. There are always exceptions, and I do have certain expressions that I just use because I can't really think of that expression in English, or if I end up translating it, it just doesn't sound the same. So I came to America when I was 11, and I adapted to the language pretty quickly, and so it became my dominant language. Now I have kept up with my Arabic pretty well. I took classes in college to get back into doing standardized Arabic, but I also have just gotten used to being in America and having American friends and going to a school that is also American. That I ended up just kind of switching in my head, and I ended up thinking in English. Now at home, I still spoke Arabic with my parents, but for some reason, I think because I spent more time in the English realm, that I ended up switching in my brain. And so that answers that question. For those of you who are wondering, what language do other people think in? I don't, for me, it's English, but it's a pretty interesting question, especially if you've lived your life in two different cultures and in two different worlds. Um, so I have a proposition for you, for those of you who are watching. If you speak a second language, if your native language is a second language, do you think in that language or do you still think in English? So I'd love to hear your answer and be on the lookout for the the classroom vlog that I did. I will be posting that hopefully shortly. Life is kind of crazy right now. We're moving and my husband and I have just a lot going on. But I do really want to post that video, so be on the lookout for that. And as usual, thank you for watching In My Own Thoughts. Bye.